I'm going to help you master Town Hall 13. Today we're going to go over the top 3 attack strategies, not just versus Town Hall 13s, but also on hit-ups. And then I'm going to give you all the information you could possibly need for hero equipment at this Town Hall level. The first attack strategy we're going to cover is RC Charge Mass Dragons. This, in my opinion, is the strongest attack strategy at Town Hall 13, particularly if you're hitting Town Hall 14s, 15s, and even 16s you can get 3 stars on. It is a little bit difficult, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's start off by taking down a Town Hall 14. Now, I like to bring the Earthquake spell, and the reason is these 2 cannons here and this air defense would take 2 shots with the Rocket Spear ability, but by bringing the Earthquake spell, it takes 1, and essentially I am saving on Rocket Spears to get more value. Now, you can bring an extra Invis spell if you want, and obviously you'll get more value like that. Completely up to you, there's really no right or wrong way, it is personal choice. Now we're going to start with our Invis spells, and we're trying to send our Royal Champion into the center, and one of the tricks I would give to you all is, you see, you don't want to use multiple Invis spells with the Royal Champion targeting the same thing unless it's the Eagle or the Town Hall, because they've got lots of hit points. Have a look at this ground bow here, for instance. So I Invis, the Royal Champion's going to take about half of the health of it. Now, the aura can take down what's left. I don't need the Royal Champion to target again, so with the next Invis spell, I make it invisible. I do the same with the Scatter here, but unfortunately that Ice Hound is a bit of a nuisance. But have a look at this here. This Scatter will eventually go down. We don't need the Royal Champion to target it multiple times. Generally, the best is to have the Royal Champion further in the base, so the aura's affecting as many defenses as possible. We deal with the Ice Hound, which is really nice, and look at this. So much value. It says only 26%, but we've taken down a lot of the base. I missed this air defense with the Giant Arrow ability on the Queen, but that is fine. And then we're going to blimp the Town Hall. Now, if your Royal Champion charged the Town Hall, then bring the Stone Slammer or the Siege Barracks, but obviously the Town Hall poison effect is insane, and we do need to make sure we take it down. So we're going to Warden a bit later. Obviously the Eternal Tome got nerfed, but if we Warden as late as we do here, this blimp is absolutely going to make it to the Town Hall. Look at that, nice and easy. Then we use the Rage spell on the Town Hall. You can use the Rage spell on your Royal Champion charge, but only if you get the Town Hall down. And you're going to see here, the Town Hall poison effect, it still does get a bit of value on our troops, but it doesn't get anywhere near as much as if we'd just brought the Stone Slammer instead of the blimp. We have so many troops up here. These dragons on the top side are going to deal with the air defense. I haven't even used the Dark Orb. Some people like to bring the Giant on the Queen. I think at Town Hall 13 though, the Healer Puppet is so clearly better, because the healers do a lot of value versus these defenses and can keep your Queen alive the whole time, whereas the Giant can only keep your Queen alive so long because it's going to go off ahead and do a little bit of tanking, whereas the tanking on the Queen with healers is obviously infinite. And we have crushed this base, not just a slight 3-star, we have crushed it with Royal Champion Charge Mass Dragons. But if you don't have the Rocket Spear leveled up, don't worry. You can still make this army work. In fact, you don't even need the Electro Boots maxed out. You can do this with a level 12 Electro Boots. I have done a video on the channel before breaking down this attack strategy, but here I'm going to do it with the Royal Gem. Now, some people think the Seeking Shield is better if you don't have the Rocket Spear. That is not the truth at all. The DPS from the Royal Gem is really nice. Now, look at what I do here. I want my Royal Champion to obviously go into the center of the base here. But if I don't put an Invis spell down, obviously she's going to go around the edge and never into the middle. And this is where a lot of the skill in this attack strategy comes from. So we use one Invis spell to redirect the Royal Champion, and now she's in the center of the base, and look at all the value she can get from this compartment. The Town Hall's in the very center. We pop the Royal Gem there just to get more health on the Royal Champion. She was getting a little bit low. Obviously the Royal Gem does nothing more than that, but the extra DPS here is honestly really nice, and whilst the Seeking Shield does lots of damage at the start, but given your Royal Champion will live for about a minute, you will make up the damage. We get the Town Hall down here, just in time. Beautiful. Now, you might think that was lucky. I did also invis the Town Hall. That was a little stupid. We poisoned the Furnace. That is why you have the poison spell in this army. If there's a Furnace alive, you cannot let a Furnace go after your dragons. Now that this is done, yet again, we're going to line up the Giant Arrow ability. So I put the Queen over here. There's not much damage. She's going to set one side of the funnel, gets rid of 2 air defenses, and then we spam the dragons. And What I love about this attack here is I am not going to use my Grand Warden. This attack strategy is easily the best if you're upgrading heroes. Now, you can't be upgrading the Royal Champion, and I know that's a little ironic because at Town Hall 13, you have to do 25 levels on the Royal Champion. So what I would recommend when you start at Town Hall 13, max out the Royal Champion immediately. And once it's maxed out, you can actually 3-star with one hero. I've done a short on this channel before. If I remember to, I'll link it above here, where I 3-starred a max Town Hall 13 base with only one hero being my Royal Champion. You see here, we're able to do with 3 heroes. I don't even think I needed my Minion Prince here though, because this is going to be a crushing overkill. So this attack strategy, not just good for hit-ups, but also good if you don't have to request your CC every attack, or if you don't have all of your heroes. You can still easily take down Town Hall 13s. That is why it is the strongest attack strategy, but it is not the easiest. It will take you a while to master the Royal Champion charge, but once you do, it is strong throughout the whole game. The next attack strategy is Fireball Super Witches. Now, this is another attack strategy that is reliant on epic equipment. Don't worry, later in the video I will show some that do not rely on epic equipment at all, but it is insane. This attack strategy is just borderline unstoppable. It's honestly mean, because the base can do nothing to stop it. I'll show you how. So what we want to do is figure out a defense we want to target with our fireball that will get lots of value. And for me, that's this wizard tower here, because we're going to be able to hit the single inferno, the expo, and more importantly, the CC. If you can get the CC down, then that is crucial. But it's not just that. If we get all of these buildings down, we're going to get a really nice funnel as well. You don't just want defensive value with this. A funnel is just as important. So the Warden's coming in here, the single inferno locks on, gonna put down an invis spell. We target the wizard tower here, double earthquake spell, get the fireball off, and look at that. So nice, and then we get rid of the air defense here. Now, I'm gonna pause this quickly. This is not the best hero equipment for this attack strategy, but I wanted to show you, you can do this with only the fireball being the epic equipment in your army. So the Warden does his thing. Unfortunately, the King comes over, but that is fine. Use a Headhunter. We use the Ice Golem in front to tank with the Super Witches and the King. Unfortunately, the Ice Golem doesn't freeze the single Inferno, so we do end up having to use a freeze there. Spam all your wall breakers in early because we want to get the Super Witches going. I actually think I get quite unlucky here. Yeah, both the second Super Wall Breaker gets taken down by the Eagle Artillery. But that's why we got the Barbarian King here. Just use his Earthquake Roots ability and we are going. And look at this. Because of the funnel that was set by the Fireball there, all the Super Witches go into the very center of the base. This base had 3 single Infernos as well. It was about as badly set up for this army as possible. But you're going to see these Super Witches just walk across the center of the base like it's nothing. Healers are very strong at Town Hall 13. And the Super Witches have a preposterous amount of health. And obviously the Rage Gem really helps with the healers. We're just walking across the center of the base here. I have so many spells left. My Royal Champion is finally being deployed. I don't think I would have needed her, particularly if I had the Electro Brutes and the Rocket Spear. This would be so overkill. Look at these witches. I'm not even using spells on them, and they're going through the defensive heroes like it's nothing. It is too easy for this attack strategy. We use the jump spell to get out of the base. So Earthquake Brutes in, jump spell out. And look at this, the Queen is alive, the Warden is alive, the Royal Champion's got plenty of health too. We've got 2 of our 3 Super Witches alive. No, I lie, we've got all of the Super Witches alive. I'm telling you, even if there's single Infernos on the base or a Town Hall, these Super Witches just don't go down. This attack strategy is kind of preposterous, but it's also amazing for hit-ups. Now, I made a mistake here and only brought 1 Earthquake spell. You do need 2 Earthquake spells, particularly since the Fireball did get slightly nerfed a couple of months ago. But it's still strong, don't you worry. And what I love about this attack is it's a horrible attack. I make so many mistakes here, and we still get a 3-star on a hit-up. So the Warden Walk just doing his thing. I was targeting this Expo here because we'll get the single Inferno, Eagle, and CC, and a Sweeper. Pretty nice value, and a solid funnel as well. So the Warden's coming in on the bottom. He steps into the Queen range. I'm happy to use a Rage spell here. We've got the Rage Gem anyway, so it's worth using a Rage spell on your Warden. Unfortunately, the Headhunter pulls out a fair amount of the CC, and this is where I make a pretty devastating mistake. Don't really know what I was thinking there, but one of the benefits of this fireball is we have set a nice funnel. So I use the baby dragon on the bottom, and now we're just going to go straight into the eagle. Now, usually, you should use your archer queen on the outside of the base. We use her to funnel the super witches in. The super witches don't need the air support, whereas the funnel is everything, but I needed the queen down here to help deal with the defensive CC. So I decided to just funnel with the siege barracks here. The siege barracks is easily the best siege machine with this army. Use it to funnel. Unfortunately, though, the king goes on the outside of the base, and that's crucial because we need that spiky ball ability to open up, not the spiky ball, the earthquake boots ability, sorry, to open up the center of the base. So I'm just spamming wall breakers in here. You can see them coming in. We pop the king ability on the top side, which helps everything go in and deal with that defensive Grand Warden. The double super wall breaker works really nicely. And look at this super witches there in the center of the base. We have the Valks out of the CC. I recommend the Valks because they run so well with the Royal Champion. They're quick enough to keep up with her, and they're nice and tanky. We freeze the Town Hall. I've still got my Queen ability. I still have every Super Witch up. The Apprentice Warden gives your Super Witches so many hit points. The Royal Champion's dealing with the King. I missed the Royal Champion with that Invis spell, so we're just going to completely ignore that. I use the Skeleton spell. Obviously, you're not meant to have a Skeleton spell. You should have a second Earthquake spell. But thankfully, the Skeleton spell didn't get that much value anyway. And somehow, I've 3-starred a hit up here. I'm gonna swag the Royal Champion and the Queen ability. Actually, the Royal Champion ability. No, that's not gonna go off at all. This attack strategy, when you have all the epics that you need, is ridiculous. Kind of preposterous how strong it is. I can't believe I 3-starred in war when the fireball got absolutely no value. The king went on the outside. So much went wrong, but this plan, this attack strategy allows for mistakes. The third attack strategy is Queen Charge Dragon Riders. Now, don't worry, I'm going to have a fourth attack strategy after this that has no epic hero equipment and no super troops. That's really strong, but I needed to show this attack strategy. It is the most difficult in today's video, but you have so much control with it, and it is extremely powerful once you learn it. Now, I thought, what better way to show how strong this attack strategy is than come on a base with 1, 2, 3 single Infernos. Now, you see the CC here. We need to deal with it with our Queen Charge. And I'm going to show you a little trick here. You see this open wall on the corner? Technically, we can't wall break it. But if a super wall breaker dies at the wrong spot, we can open the wall anyway. So, we're able to now go in and get rid of this single Inferno. But you see this single Inferno, the way it's placed, right? It is placed so that when the CC comes out, my queen will be in single Inferno range. So you have two options when this is the case. You either pull the CC out, or you take down the single Inferno before the CC comes out. Now, I'm going to do a mix of the two here. We get a bunch of archers come out, then the furnace comes out. We need to use the poison spell on that. And then you see this ice golem comes out, but this ice golem is going to slow down the queen. So we put the invis down and have a look at this. The queen deals with the single Inferno before the ice golem, and that saves us an extra spell. We probably would have had to use 2 invis spells or a first free spell, sorry, if that happened. So we've dealt with the CC and a single Inferno nicely. And what I like about this plan is, look at what's left up on the base that the Dragon Riders are going to take down. This wasn't necessarily the best part of the base to Queen Charge, but I wanted to show you how strong Dragon Riders are in the fact that they are going to take down the majority of this base. So I used the Baby Dragon to try and funnel the Queen in. Doesn't really end up helping that much, but it's fine. We're going to use the King on the bottom side, and then we'll make sure the Queen goes into this compartment. I think I end up using the second Wall Breaker here to make sure she can reach that single Inferno. Otherwise, the single Inferno would have picked her off. We're at this stage, it's about 1:30 left in battle, and that's when you need to start your Dragon Riders. No later than that, and we're going to use the Royal Champion with them. By the way, in this attack, I'm using the worst Royal Champion equipment combination and low-level equipment at that to show you that the Dragon Riders are the ones doing the work. I'm also not going to use the Siege Barracks. The Frozen Arrows completely countering that single Inferno and the defensive RC on the bottom side. Kind of ridiculous. We pop the Warden ability to keep the Royal Champion alive. Look at these sweepers, such a pain. We use the Seeking Shield here to get rid of one of them. The Headhunters in the Warden ability get rid of all 2 defensive heroes. That is huge. The Warden ability ends, but the Healing Tome is so good with the Dragon Riders because it gets them back to basically full health. And even though there was so much for the Dragon Riders and the Royal Champion to do. They do it kind of easily. Yet again, not running the best hero equipment for this attack. This is a Town Hall 13v13, and really the only epic equipment you need is the Frozen Arrow. Doesn't even need to be insanely high leveled up. You can still 3-star with low Frozen Arrow. No siege barracks, no siege machine or CC troops used with this either, and it was a pretty toxic base for this army. This attack can also work on hit-ups, but it is a little bit more difficult. So if you are doing a hit-up, I would recommend the Fireball Super Witch or the Royal Champion Charge Mass Dragons. But this attack strategy is still definitely possible. It's just more damage on your queen than she can necessarily handle. So I force my queen into this open wall compartment. I know lots of you think, oh, it's open walls, it's terrible. Trust me, this is way more difficult. If that was a closed wall, the super wall breaker would be really easy and I would open multiple walls. Whereas this, there's only one wall open, so I have to do a bit more funneling to ensure that my queen goes in there. See this super wall breaker here? Opens up into the center of the base. Super wall breaking is kind of easy once you know how it paths. So it would have been even easier on the outside of the base there. So if this was open, would be more difficult than it is currently for queen charges. Now I'm going to use my king here. Fun little tip, if the buildings are set up like this, the king will go elixir collector, gold mine, dark elixir drill, and then he will go up, and he's actually going to go into the town hall compartment here. Make sure you're focused on your queen. Yet again, we need to start our Dragon Riders at about a minute 30. The queen's in the very heart of the base here, exactly where we want her. I start off with the Royal Champion. We are doing the max combo for this attack because it's a hit up, right? You will need some epic equipment to get the hit ups done. But you're actually going to see here, my king doesn't quite take down the town hall. We go Royal Champion and then the Dragon Riders behind her. Then use the Stone Slammer either to counter air defenses or to funnel your Dragon Riders in. I use the Stone Slammer here to funnel them in towards the Eagle Artillery. I pop the Warden ability because the Royal Champion's getting quite low. You're going to see how ridiculous the Healing Tome is at Town Hall 13. My Royal Champion gets basically to full health here. She was at 0 HP, and look at that, she's at least half, if not 2/3 HP by now. The Queen and King have gone down, and that's what I liked about this attack. It didn't go perfectly. This single Inferno was a pain. The Town Hall was a pain. But was there really ever a chance I was going to fail this? No. Not at all. I like the Inferno drag in the Stone Slammer. It's very nice for dealing with defensive heroes if there's some of them that take down your Stone Slammer. We use the Rocket Spear ability to finish off the Town Hall. We still have quite a few Dragon Riders up. I've still got a Rage spell to spare. This attack strategy is the most difficult, but for me, it's the most satisfying. I love Queen charging, and Dragon Riders are a really robust troop. They just don't go down at all. Now, those are the top 3 attack strategies. I figured I'd show this attack strategy as well, because you have no super troops, no epic hero equipment, and it's still 3 stars bases easily. Yet again, a very annoying base here that we're going to take down with that central town hall, but we're going to do it easily. So we got to start off with our giant arrow. You want to remove as much as possible. I would have loved to get rid of the second air defense or the sweeper that is facing our troops, but that is fine. The queen's going to set that side of the funnel. Then I like using a lava hound because it's a really good tank for your blimp. Just going out there and looking for any seeking air mines. We've got the poison spell in this. Yet again, we are going to poison that furnace. The furnace is a menace. I don't even need the warden ability for this blimp because we got so many clone spells that it doesn't really matter if your Super Yeti lands nowhere near the town hall. The electromites will eventually take it down. The town hall bomb kills quite a few of them though, and that's not what you want. So in terms of Super Yeti clone value or the electromite clone value, this was really bad. You can clear out so much more value, but the Tornado Trap and the Town Hall Bomb were problematic here. And that's why I wanted to leave this in the video. This attack did not go to plan perfectly. We used the Minion Prince ability to slow down the air defense here. Queen is still alive. You can see the healers are so good. If we had the Giant now, it would have gone its own way, and the Queen would have been dead ages ago. But the healers just keep her alive forever. Clearly the best when you're doing air attack strategies. Going into the single Inferno here, the defensive king is being a little bit of a pain, but thankfully a few of the dragons do take down that single Inferno. The queen is still alive, tanking for the scattershot and the archer tower. Notice, by the way, still haven't used my warden ability or even deployed the royal champion. Now, when you do this attack strategy, you are meant to deploy your Warden ability with the Blimp to negate the damage early on, but I was pretty confident I could 3-star this without the Warden ability. For the record, this was the first attack I did with the army on this base, but I just kind of knew, because this attack strategy is nasty. Now, you do always need a CC with this attack strategy, so do keep that in mind, but you don't always need your Royal Champion. So, if I was a new Town Hall 13, I would do this attack strategy, because you don't need epics, you don't need your Royal Champion, whilst you upgrade your Royal Champion, and then when your Royal Champion's max, do Royal Champion charge into Mass Dragons, Super Yetis, you name it. But look at this, completely wrecked. Completely wrecked, and it wasn't because we got insane Super Yeti clone value, it was just because this attack strategy is ridiculous. Now let's jump into the hero equipment part of this video. I'm going to go over everything you need to know, starting off with epic equipment. Which epic equipment should you unlock first, assuming you have none of them? Unsurprisingly, the first epic hero equipment you have to unlock is the Electro Boots. It's insane, just makes your Royal Champion be able to take down the entire base, particularly when paired with invis spells as we saw earlier, and that's why at number 2 it's also the Rocket Spear, because this makes your Royal Champion charge even stronger, but you can also use it with other attack strategies as well. That combination is kind of ridiculous, so make sure you unlock the 2 of them first. At number 3 is the Fireball. Now, I'd only unlock this if you are going to use it. It's very strong with Super Witches and Super Yetis at Town Hall 13, but if you're more of an air attacker, you don't have to unlock it. For the record, you probably do need to level it up to level 15 to be usable, so keep that in mind. At number 4 is the Frozen Arrow, but there is like an asterisk on this one. Only unlock it if you're going to do Queen charges. Otherwise, you're just not really going to use it. From basically Town Hall 13 to Town Hall 17, there are other hero equipment options which are better, unless you are doing the Queen charges. At number 5 is the Spiky Ball. You will always use this on your king. It is so strong. I mean, look at the stats here. Quick math says that 17,500 hit points at the most amount it can do. That is ludicrous. You get insane DPS and hit points with it as well. So good. Worth noting though, if you do air attacks, you're obviously not going to use it as much because you're going to use the Minion Prince instead of the King. Next up is not the Magic Mirror, sorry, it is the Action Figure. And for a very simple reason, 9,000 hit points. Are you kidding me? It is ludicrous. It is so tanky, but then you also get 100 DPS. 35 healing per second, 500 hit points, and 1 second invis. And what I like is, you can use it from basically level 12 upwards, unlike the Magic Mirror, which is the next I'd unlock, but you do need to get it to level 18 when you unlock that second clone. Worth noting though, the Action Figure and Magic Mirror is an insanely strong combination for ground attack strategies, whereas for air, you generally see the Giant Arrow and Healer Puppet more. And then the last one that you absolutely have to upgrade or unlock is the Snake Bracelet. Now, this is only if you use your king on the outside of the base to funnel. So, for instance, you see that used a lot with Hybrid. I could have used this in my Queen Charge Dragon Riders as well. Completely up to you, but it's not 100% necessary. Now, there are other strong hero equipment. The Giant Gauntlet's strong. I just think the Spiky Ball is better, and the Earthquake Boots or the Vamp Stash pair amazingly with that. Do not upgrade the Dark Crown. I know I've got it upgraded. It's not really strong until you get to Town Hall 14. Now, I've had some people say, but Hooked, you get the same amount of troop space at Town Hall 13 as you do 14. But at Town Hall 14, you get pets, and that's an extra 80 troop space. At Town Hall 13, you just don't have enough, troop space for the Dark Crown to add more damage than the Henchman Puppet would. I mean, the Henchman Puppet's kind of insane. And then beyond that, do not unlock the Lava Loon Puppet. The Heroic Torch is nice, but it's not necessary. Now we're going to go through the top 5 hero equipment for the Barbarian King and the best hero equipment combinations for him. The strongest hero equipment item for the Barbarian King is the Spiky Ball. For every reason we talked about before, use it every time you deploy your Barbarian King. And number 2 is the Earthquake Boots. So good with ground spam attack strategies because it saves you on jump spells. earthquake spells to open the base, and it allows you to bring the siege barracks instead of the log launcher, and the siege barracks is the best funnel siege machine. It's basically your best funnel in the game, honestly. And number 3 is the snake bracelet, really strong with queen charge hybrid attack strategies where the king is on the outside of the base and the snakes are really nice, but you do need to put a few ores in it to be strong. And number 4 is the giant gauntlet, really strong when paired with the rage vial and can get insane damage done as long as the walls are open, but I just think it's superseded by the spiky ball and the earthquake boots combination. And at number 5 is the vamp stash. You can use it with the hybrid attack strategies in place of the snake bracelet. The two of them are pretty similar in terms of output, but honestly, the snake bracelet does more at the higher town halls than the vamp stash does. And in terms of the combinations, for me it's kind of simple. If your Barb King's on the inside of the base, use the spiky ball and earthquake boots, and if he's on the outside of the base, use the snake bracelet and the spiky ball. Unless you don't have the snake bracelet leveled up, in which place you'd use the vamp stash. Now onto the Archer Queen, and the strongest hero equipment item is the action figure. Now air attacks are kind of the strongest at Town Hall 13, and you don't use the action figure with that, but the action figure is so good in all the ground attacks, it kind of makes up for that. At number 2 is the healer puppet. Such good survivability, and really it would be number 1, but it does nothing to the damage of your Archer Queen. It only makes her more survivable, doesn't really add anything offensively, but it's still so good with those air attacks. Number 3 is the giant arrow. You can remove air defenses and air sweepers for free. I mean, what more can I say? It's so good with air attacks. And number 4 is the magic mirror. Really nice with the action figure, but the clones some of the time can be a little bit fragile, and you also have to upgrade it to level 18 to be really strong, and I think that is a weakness of it compared to the other options. And number 5 is the frozen arrow. Great for queen charges, not as good in all the other combinations. Honorable mention does go out to the invis vial, which is actually really good and I recommend you use it, but the fact that the action figure and the magic mirror also have the 1 second invisibility kind of makes the invis vial not as special. Now in terms of combos, for air attacks it's the giant arrow and healer puppet, for ground attacks it's the action figure and the magic mirror, and for queen charges it's the frozen arrow and the invis vial. The minion prince is going to be super quick. The strongest is the Dark Orb. Unsurprisingly, the ability is kind of insane. Number 2 is the Henchman Puppet. You get the defense in terms of the Henchman Puppet and the 1 second invisibility. Then you also get the insane damage that I hinted at earlier. Number 3 is the Metal Pants. Really nice. It actually would be probably the second strongest if it weren't for how well-rounded the Henchman Puppet is. The Metal Pants just adds so many hit points and makes your minion prince indestructible. Number 4 is the Noble Iron. It's just not that good until you get the Jelly, which is at Town Hall 16. The Dark Crown, I'm leaving at number 5. Don't spend your ores on it until you get to Town Hall 14 and unlock the pets. Now, in terms of the best combination, for me, it's just the Dark Orb and Henchman Puppet all the way. Onto the Grand Warden. The strongest is the Eternal Tome. So good. So good. Just makes your troops completely invulnerable. At number 2 is the Fireball. It is so strong, so ridiculous to remove a lot of the base, and then pairs excellently with the Super Witches or Super Yetis. At number 3 is the Healing Tome. Really nice with air attack strategies. You can really use it with everything. And at number 4, I've got the Rage Gem. Heal Tome, Rage Gem, completely interchangeable, though both of them are really good for different reasons. The Rage Gem, a bit better with ground attack strategies. The Healing Tome, a bit better with air attacks. Then after that, we have the Heroic Torch at number 5, which is a bit of an unknown to me, honestly. It can be really good, but you can't use it with the Fireball, and the Fireball is best for ground attack strategies. So if you're doing straight up spam, like no Fireball to begin with, in ground spam, then I'd use the Heroic Torch, but there's just better attack strategies than that, in my opinion. And in terms of the best combos, it's the Eternal Tome and the Healing Tome for air attacks, the Eternal Tome and Rage Gem for ground attacks, and then the Fireball and the Rage Gem for Fireball attack strategies. And let's see if we can get through the Royal Champion in 15 seconds. The strongest is the Electro Boots, obviously. Second strongest is Rocket Spear. And then equal third, I have the Seeking Shield and Royal Gem. Royal Gem better with Royal Champion charges. Seeking Shield better with everything else. And the best combo is the Electro Boots and the Rocket Spear. That's it for today's video. I know it went a little long, but I wanted to give you all the information you could possibly need. Let me know down below if you've got any questions, and I will reply to every single comment.